Yo, what's good, man? I'm OG Eddie. This is the Free Game Sports Podcast, and I'm here with Brianna Edwards, and we got a special guest today, Mac Irv in the building. You already know.
Yo, what's happening?
Hey, yo, listen, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie. I'm super excited to get to talk to this man. I have seen him for a minute. First time I seen you play, I was like 12, so that's 18 years ago.
That's crazy to think
dating you
about.
just a little bit. I think it was your senior year too.
Yeah.
And so since I'm a polar, and E is a polar as well.
Yeah.
Kind of tell us about what that North High and Henry rivalry was like, because I think a lot of people outside of Minnesota don't know the significance of what that looked like.
It was just to me. You know how you said you was 12 when you first started watching? I was about 9, 10. Same type of feeling, getting in the building. I remember watching North play Henry, and to me it felt like an NBA game. And I just remember just telling my homies, like, bro, I can't wait till we get out there. Like, it was like, that was like literally like one of my like goals is to be able to play in front of that crowd. So when I was able to get out there, like for the first time, it just felt honestly exhilarating. Like, it was one of them feelings where it's like, man, I'm stepping into this dream that I dreamed about as a little kid, watching Khalid, Ozzie Lockhart. Like, I'm gonna keep it real before anything. I didn't know much about Henry.
Really?
My cousins went to North. Like, they grew up with me. They walked to school. I grew up on 8th and Irvin.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? Like,
so what made you go to Henry?
So my pops was the assistant coach. He got the assistant coach job with Efren Smith. He was our pastor.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, do you want to help coach? And he went over there and he helped coach. And by the time Efren ended up leaving, like a year into the job, and then my pops ended up taking over. And I remember we was at the Hustlers practice, man.
So that's where you played at as far as grade school. You was with the Hustlers?
Yeah. We was at the Hustlers practice, Minneapolis Hustlers, man. Me, TP, Zarek Knight, A-Train, Pooh Bear.
Zarek had crazy bounce.
And basically we was like, yo, we kind of made a pact that everybody was going to Henry. And then I know Coach Pete ended up coming along too. And we was like, we was going to Henry. And then, I mean, I was going anyway since my dad got the job. And then, but everybody was like, all right, we going. And we kind of just wanted to create a new, like, a new dynasty, forge a new way. You know, North had kind of been doing their thing. Yeah. And the guys who didn't say they was going, it was Kevin Henderson, as we know. Yeah. And I'm trying to think, it was one more person. But mainly everybody from the Hustlers went over there. So that's kind of how the chemistry was, like, already formed.
So you're telling me your whole Hustlers team went to Henry?
My whole Hustlers team. BJ Burden. It was Cedric Bates, Pooh Bear. There's another dude named Terrell. The whole team literally just got hopped up, and
that's really like how it really go though. Like when you playing like grade school ball, that team kind of migrate and go into high school.
Oh, 100%.
Pretty much.
That was understandable.
Pretty much. But like I was saying before, I was a North fan, bro. I thought I was going to North, you know what I'm saying? And it just ended up going to the opposite side, basically.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. We kind of downplaying this. I don't think nobody know how crazy these games were. So think your home team. They playing in their arena, the NBA, and the arena is full for a high school game.
Yeah.
Like the game I walked into at 12, it was like you had to show an ID to be able to sit on what side.
It wasn't nowhere to sit down.
You know,
you had to sit. If you ain't had no seat, you had to stand up around the court.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when they put it at the Target Center. That's when I seen him.
Oh, that was your first. Oh, so you didn't experience?
I didn't experience in the gym.
No,
I seen it at the Target Center.
Okay, if you didn't experience that, it was kind of more lit than the NBA game, honestly.
Yes.
Like, if you would have seen it like in the building, like there was a point they moved to the Target Center my senior year, but people couldn't get in the games. I'm talking about the line was a block down.
Yeah, it was like a club.
And that was a freshman game. That was a freshman. If you didn't get there at the freshman game, you wasn't getting in.
You wasn't getting in.
Yeah, like it was that crazy. Like that's the kind of energy it was. I'm talking about the crowd going crazy. Every gangster in the hood, every person, everybody you knew that was popular from North Minneapolis, and even started getting outside of that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Was at that game. It was just a must. It was a place that you had to go.
You
didn't miss a North Henry game in Minneapolis. So that's how important it was.
Let me ask you this. So with your pops being the coach, right?
At Henry.
Yeah. How did it affect you as like me? The cats be like, yo,
of course,
Coach Mckenzie, like this your son, you showing favoritism. Like, did that ever happen?
I think it kind of started off like that for me. But you know, a lot of people that I was already playing with kind of just understood I wanted to be fucked with.
Okay, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was that kind of basketball player.
Because you had it in that bag, that's why.
I wanted to be fucked with, but by the time I got to high school, like it was some people, so I played varsity. I didn't play a lot my freshman year. And my dad, he different. He just know his son. You know what I'm saying? So like I would be in practice. I was telling these kids this other day, like, y'all think y'all got it hard, fam? Like I was at practice with my pops, not playing at all. I'm coming over from JV practice, barely practice. I get in. You know what I'm saying? I make a couple good plays. The seniors come down. They turn the ball over. I come down. He say nothing to him. I turn the ball over once. On the line.
Oh, man.
You running. I'm like, what? Like, you didn't just see GP turn the ball over? I told him.
Yeah.
They just turned it over 3 times. Nah, you on the line. I'm like, oh, okay, you on bullshit. Yeah. I'm talking about I'm leaving the gym. We leaving. You know, I got to drive home with him.
Yeah.
I ain't speaking to this man. Like,
man, that's awkward. Y'all in the car. And it's silent all the way.
Bro, if I had headphones on, I would have put the headphones in, dog.
Well,
like,
he tell you everything you did do right.
Oh man, I ain't speaking to him. And then it got to my freshman, like in the middle of my freshman year, where he was just on me so hard in practice, and I was like, man, I'm not playing for you. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm gonna transfer. I was going to transfer. I think I was planning on transferring to De La Salle. I was like, I'm not playing for you, man. And my mom was like, my mom, God bless my mom. She was like always a mediator. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I know it's hard, but your dad knows you. I didn't understand what he was doing at that point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So but what he really did was create Frankenstein. I'm gonna just keep it a buck, cause it was just like, nigga, stop saying. I don't want you saying nothing to me. Yeah. Like, I know how good I am, fam. I don't want you saying nothing to me, so I just worked. And the story is like, by the time my sophomore year, I wasn't starting. He still wasn't starting. But I knew, I was like, I know how nice I am, but I never complained. Same story I was telling these kids that they got to understand. I never complained. Mm-hmm. I didn't complain because in my mind, I was just confident that everything was going to work out for me the way it was supposed to. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just believed that because I was putting in the work. And I would just get on the court. In my mind, I was like, what I can control is how the game shifts when I get on the court. Right. So every time I got on the court, I'm full court pressing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get a steal. I'm trying to dunk on a big man, whoever in the paint. I'm doing all this. I'm sitting and the game started changing. And the dude who was starting was like, Coach, you got to start. You got to start Lawrence.
Wait, he told him?
Yeah, him. Yeah. The dude was starting.
Listen, I'm nice. You know, I'm a team player, but I ain't that much of a team player. I'm not gonna tell you like, yo.
I remember one time, like, you know, Brett used to ask me like, hey, you know, should we start this cat over this cat? And I'm like, man, listen, go holler at him.
Oh, you didn't want to say nothing?
Hell no, I'm not saying nothing. Go holler at, you know what I'm saying? As a team captain, I'm like, I don't want no say so in that.
Oh,
if that man want to give his spot up, ask that man.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, it was a dude, and it was the coaches set him down too. The coaches had been telling him like, man, come on, right? Like, come on, coach, like you playing. And then the dude was just like, nah, he deserved it, man. So and from there, that's kind of like, well, took off. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So tell me about the successes at Henry as far as y'all state championships, y'all state titles and stuff. Tell me how that felt. Winning those championships there.
You ever seen the movie Coach Carter?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That's what that was, bro. Yeah. Like,
but they lost though.
They did lose. You right. If we could add that with a whole bunch of championships.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I feel like if we had cameras at that point, bro, it would have been Netflix. Like, I believe that's.
It's a whole documentary.
Yeah, nah,
it should be showing the north side because to be honest, it was winning on both sides.
Yeah, nah, that would have been crazy.
That'd have been crazy.
That would have been crazy.
Hey, listen, take that out, Des. I'm just playing.
I know, for real though. It's a real idea though.
We can make a bag on that one.
It's a real idea. It's a real idea because I don't think people understand how important and significant Minneapolis basketball was. And don't forget, we got a number one, a top 5 pick from last year, who I guarantee you know about Norfolk Henry basketball.
Absolutely.
And we got a number 1 pick coming up, Chet, who I guarantee you know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a Minnesota is a basketball hotbed. So not only the people here would be able to get into that and see that and understand it, you will be able to show everybody like what really happens, like, out of Minneapolis, so you might want to go ahead.
I'm calling that one. Hey, right now, after this, once this air, I have already bought that name. Doing business as Northside documentary for real.
You might want to do that.
So honestly, since you accomplished so much stuff at Henry, right? How did it feel to see your pop switch over and come to a polar side? I mean, I'm a polar, so I ain't mad at it. But no, how did that kind of make you feel? What's your teammates say about that?
It hurt everybody at first. I was like, damn, Pops, you gonna do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's funny because you got to think of it, man. North and Henry, first of all, they made one side red. They made the other side blue. No, it really get that deep. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really gets that deep. So when he did it, I was a little shook, and I was like, damn. But luckily in my older age, I started to understand, like, you know what, like, it's really about the entire community. Like, if you could touch kids on this side, the way you touch kids on that side, because it was always more than basketball to him. I remember him leaving out the house, making sure people ate, getting people to practice, giving people places to stay, man, making sure people's rent was paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, my pops did all that. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at the bigger picture and didn't take it as personal. But one thing I did take personal, and this is, I think this might be the first time me saying this, is, he went back and Henry had a job opening. He had to apply for the job, interview, and they didn't hire him.
Are you serious?
That shit pissed me off.
No,
me knowing that, I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? As much love I got from my school, y'all, that was a fucked up thing that y'all did.
That's a no-brainer.
I never knew that.
There's no such thing as
I didn't know that.
They hired him, saying they needed a younger coach. It was crazy. And he hasn't lost to them since he's been at North. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they lost in the conference in, I think, 62 games straight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
it's called divine timing. He was supposed to go there, but that's
maybe that's what it was. I be thinking that, like, bro, there's no way that you wasn't supposed to get your job back
at the school, for sure.
So you must have had to, like you say, it had to been about a divine meaning for you to be able to, like, go to North. Like,
it was like bridging that gap. In my opinion, when I seen that, it was like bridging that gap between North and Henry, because it felt like Bloods and Crips. I'm not even gonna lie.
It did.
But tell me, listen, y'all, tell me I ain't lying. It really felt like that.
Ask anybody.
Henry, you go to North, it was like never. And then they talked about basketball, but being a kid in the crowd, I seen the brawls.
Oh,
so I seen the fights
man.
that broke out, and so it was a little bit different. So I think your pops going to North, I think that was probably one of the best things that happened on the North side, in my opinion.
If it wasn't a fight, it wasn't a North and Henry game. I just feel like that. If it wasn't bottles thrown on the court, it wasn't a North and Henry game. And I think one thing about, like, Minneapolis basketball history, or Minnesota basketball history, is, like, there's cats that got game here, like Jabron Ike and, like, Troy Bell and, like, those other guys. But it's that environment that it just kind of stamp you, fam.
Yep.
If you could ball out in that type of environment, like, it's just a different stamp on you.
I'll go down in the history books.
Yeah,
that's on the basketball Minnesota Bible.
Oh, man, for sure. I miss that shit.
My opinion is that, all right, so Brett resigned.
Yep.
Right? And me playing for Brett, I didn't see a coach coming in being at that caliber of a coach.
Yeah.
So when Mckenzie came, I'm like,
you didn't know?
No, I'm saying
when he came, you knew what it was.
Right. I'm like, when he came, I'm like, that's the closest thing as far as coaching that it's going to get as far as with being with Brett.
Yeah.
Because I done seen coaches coming after Brett left, and I was like,
ain't going to work.
Nope, it ain't going to work.
It didn't work.
It
was a time between.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was a time.
So it was Mandela dropping 52.
All type of stuff. And so when Coach Mckenzie came, I'm like, you know what? I think that's what the Polars needed, because it was the closest thing as being, as far as Brett being there.
Do you feel Brett had y'all, like, in he had a program? Like, is that what you feel about Brett? Like,
right, Brett,
from top to bottom, from varsity to JV
right. So don't get it twisted. Like, Brett was all around a real basketball coach.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some coaches don't got that full everything as far as coaching, as far as teaching kids to be student athletes.
Yeah.
He had the whole thing.
Yeah.
So when I heard Mckenzie coming over, I'm like, that's probably the best thing smoking. That was just me personally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but don't get it twisted. Brett different.
Yeah.
He different.
Yeah.
Like, different.
He was a dog.
Oh yeah. So when Mckenzie came, I'm like, that's what.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like.
E on that one.
Go ahead.
No, I said I'm gonna interview E on that one, on the Brett McNeil story.
Oh man. Look behind the camera, There's he was over there. But yeah, I've heard some Brett stories, man. Brett used to be talking shit to me, man, on the sideline.
Oh,
man, man, listen.
That's easy.
Man, shut up, man. But no, I'm a competitor, so I always respect it. You know what I mean, the competitive side. And I think I was gonna say, man, like kids where we from, you almost need that army, that military strictness.
I understand that. But some kids these days, like today, like basketball today,
it's different.
Some kids can't take that. They quit.
Why do y'all think so? I have questions for both of you. Why do y'all think that is? Like, I experienced that on the female side. Y'all all heard about Faith Johnson.
Come on, man. Yeah.
We already talked about, so we all got the same type of basketball upbringing.
Yep.
Why do y'all think the kids can't take what we got now?
That's a good question. I can't answer that question, honestly. I really can't. I don't know.
Cause I coach high school basketball and I gotta be nice. I gotta make us laugh before we go out for a game.
Now check it. So don't get it twisted. Like Brett had us come back and scrimmage the young boys. Brett went back in like 2013 up in that little area.
Okay.
And he had us come back and scrimmage the varsity.
Yeah.
And one cat came down the court, turned the ball over. Right. This is the young point guard they had at North at that time. I don't know who it was. It probably was Malik, honestly. I'm gonna think about
probably
it.
Was.
But Malik or somebody turned the ball over. Right? No, it wasn't Malik. It was after that. But it was some young point guard.
Yeah.
And I looked at Brett. I said, "Hey, ain't you gonna say something?" I said, "Ain't you gonna say something?" I kind of gave him the eye, like, "Man, ain't you gonna say something?"
Yeah.
He like, "Come on, you can't be turning the ball over like that." Like, say
it's
that
different
to the young cat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that was me or somebody from back then. Oh,
that was PJ.
All hell or PJ.
Oh,
all
man.
hell would have broke loose. You know
Shout
what I'm
out
saying?
PJ.
So I asked Brett after practice. I said, Brett, you kind of got soft, dog. I'm a grown man now. I can have this grown man conversation with my ex varsity coach. I'm like, man, Brett, you kind of soft now. Brett told me straight up. He said, now I ain't gonna lie, these days is different as far as coaching basketball. He said these kids will quit on you.
They'll be done.
Now, mind you, we talking about Brett. He stick to his guns no matter what. You can quit all you want. I'm gonna run with the JV.
Yeah, right.
But he like, man, everybody will quit.
Yeah.
So he like, I had to come into that different. You know what I'm saying? So I really can't answer that question.
I don't know why either. But I was just talking to Coach Peter, my pops, about to see, like, I can't talk to these kids how I talk to y'all.
On everything.
Like, I see my pops, man, throw niggas through doors, like, you know what I'm saying? Put up niggas in lockers at halftime. Like, I seen that, and it was like, all right, let's get back to it. And it's just different now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Yeah. I'm thinking, like, though, life is hard. And as an adult, you start to understand that, like, that shit was low-key easy. You know what I'm saying? Compared to what we got to go through right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm waking up worried about the big if that's all I got to worry about for the day, cool. Let me do that.
Take me back.
I got something to eat. I got a place to lay. I ain't got to worry about these bills. So I try to tell them, like, yo, coach is just a microcosm to y'all life, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's this is what y'all gonna face times in the world is gonna be times 10. Go to college, it's times 5.
Oh, what?
You know what I'm saying? And leave that. And then my coach in college used to tell me, Oklahoma, like, all right, wait till you hit the real world. I'm like, nigga, what you talking about? This is hard, nigga. Nigga, we just did a bubble drill, fam, where we have to do this shit for 30 minutes. Nobody can score. We got to get 25 offensive rebounds. What are you talking about? Bro, we just practiced for 3.5 hours. Man.
And you told me we got weights after.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, he was right. The real world is just, it's just so much different. So, man, anybody who's watching this who's younger, man, take the time and just and be in the moment with what you're doing. I think that's important. Just be in the moment. Don't be always looking ahead, man. And be in the moment and just enjoy it.
He just dropped some game right there. So listen, you played with some phenomenal individuals. My favorite, I'm gonna just say, I had Walter was probably my favorite individual that you played with. Because that's all I remember. Yeah. Y'all was like 1, 2, and 3.
Walt P.
You was number 2. Who was number 1?
I was 1.
No, you was 1. Who was number 2? I know Walt was number 3.
Actually, I know who number 2, but I don't know if you want to. This is Robert Pearson was number 2.
Robert Pearson was number 2.
He was.
What number he wore?
Yeah. Oh dang. Okay, listen, because I just know it was 1, 2, 3, and as a kid, I was like, they all cute, and they 3 in a row. But so what was the influence of all your teammates, but me particularly, TP? Like, how did that influence you to be the athlete that you were, and then also in high school?
Shout out my bro TP. First off, man, legendary dude, man. TP made me besides my dad, TP is who made me as a basketball player. If you know TP, you know he got a loud mouth. Mm-hmm. I think if anybody know TB, he gonna talk, and he got like one of the biggest hearts on the court. Like he just like that, and he believes that he's the best ever. Yeah. So me and him went back and forth a lot. I'm talking about starting from 8th grade. Like we just played one-on-one after practice. Like I'm talking about we'll play for 2 hours after practice one-on-one because he think he better than me. We'll just play till he get a win. Play till I get a win. Like and we went back and forth. And we did it in the high school. Like, nigga, I'm better than you. Nah, I'm better than you. Like, we just played. We continue to play. And that kind of dog and playing against somebody like that day in and day out, it wasn't nobody else I could play against that was going to give me that kind of energy.
That was going to challenge you.
Nah.
So it was like practice was harder than any game.
First, man, if you would have seen our practices, if, like, people, we always talk about that. Like, our practices was better than games. Yeah. It was that competitive.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like, oh, we just trying to get through. Nah, I'm trying to take your head off, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, every game, I want to embarrass you. Yeah. Like, it was that serious, but we was pushing each other to get better.
Absolutely.
And then once we got on the court, it was like, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was easy. But every single day, nobody took a day off. Or you was going to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about here, but y'all know how it is. You got to go through the whole school day for the next practice. Nigga was killing you yesterday, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't want to deal with it. And I think as basketball players, we just took a lot more pride in the game back then. Sure. Like, it was more
way more pride than now.
Yeah.
Like there was no way you was gonna give me 50 on my head in the
that'd
game.
Be cool
it's not
that.
happening.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
They had 50. They're good. What you mean they had 50?
I had 30.
It's gonna be she gonna have a black eye. I'm gonna hit her in the ribs a couple times. What? You just let this kid drop 50 on you and y'all shaking hands?
Nah.
I'm closing my fist as I walk through. Like it's just different.
I know this is kind of fucked up, man, but I be mad when they be losing to white boys. I be like,
we used to be like, really?
I don't know if that's politically correct.
No, it's no for real. Because think about it, y'all used to go to the suburbs. Because we used to drive like 2-3 hours up to the suburbs, and we in there, they calling us the N-word, all types of stuff. Yeah, I'm about to give this whole team 60
all
if I
that,
can.
man.
And so it's just like seeing that, it's like there's no pride in the hood. I don't know where that went. That like toughness. Yeah. Like where did that go?
I don't know.
I hope, hopefully,
that's
since y'all both have children, and I think the toughness is gonna come within y'all children.
Man, I got 3 girls, and they
still be tough. You see me hoop?
That's true. They do a dance class and all that. It's
different.
I'm trying. I'm talking about I gotta bribe them. Here, got a pack of Skittles, make 10 shots, do 20 dribbles. I give you $2. Come on, like I gotta bribe, but hopefully they fall into it later on. You know what I'm saying? Also, this is kind of my fault. They don't see their dad as a basketball player.
Yeah.
They see their dad as a musician. You know what I'm saying? Like they like entertainment. They want to be entertainers. They want to dance. They want to sing. And they want to rap. Like
I feel that.
You know, but I'm trying. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep trying. I told my
show them because they gotta know their dad was in his
no.
Crazy.
I told my youngest daughter, I'm like, man, you gotta at least try like to play 1 year.
Right.
Like you just gonna have to tough it out. Like you'll play. I'll be the assistant coach, but you're gonna have to just try to play 1 year. So I'm definitely gonna get them to do it 1 year, man. I'm gonna make them.
I remember I came in a few years after y'all graduated, and I seen some of the older polars having free TP on their shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't know TP like that. I just watched them play, playing with you growing up. And I seen like all the older cats, Kevin Henderson, Justin Burgess, and it even trickled down to B. Cole and Ricky Bassell Parks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna put free TP on my shoes too.
You know.
You know what I'm saying?
The legacy is crazy, man.
So now what I'm trying to ask you is that when TP called his case in Cali, the homicide case, how did that affect you? How did that? What was going through your mind when that happened?
Man, I cried, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I remember. So at Fresno State, his head coach was Oklahoma's former assistant coach.
Okay.
He went and got the job. His name is Ray Lopes. He got the job at Fresno State. They was interested in TP because they already had Johnny.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think Kelvin Sampson ain't pulled the trigger. Yeah. But he was like, I'm leaving for Fresno. I'll take you out to Fresno. Okay. So I had got the phone call I remember being at Coach Sampson's house. We were just all eating dinner. He invited us over, and we was eating, and he like called me out like, hey. And he like, man, he just told me the news like, oh man, yeah, the guy Terry Pettis is wanted for murder. I'm like, Coach, he like, nah,
not for real.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
real
serious.
Life.
He like, nah, it's for real. Coach Ray just called me and let me know. And at that moment, I just had gotten on the phone with my pops, and my pops had already knew. And he was like, yeah, it's true. And it just hurt my soul because he was doing so well out there for
sure.
on the court. Like he was balling, fam.
Oh, yeah.
Like, bro, he's so tough. He's like the most unathletic dude, but like, but his toughness makes up for it. Like so crazy. And like he was all freshman, and then after that my freshman year, his sophomore year, I remember him playing a game. I think it was playing Creighton on ESPN. And he balled out. Yeah. So he started to get on like a lot of people's radars as far as like the NBA. Mm-hmm. But it was just that one mistake that changes his entire life.
Like, what? How many minutes did it take for you to course your life to be in some type of confinement?
Yeah.
I don't want to experience it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, and honestly, in California, like they try to give him the death penalty.
Oh yeah, that's mandatory out there.
He beat it, so he got 25 plus life. He doing a life sentence.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then with the gun laws, you know, with the like it's like 10 years per bullet, like within the gun, like because if people you can't legally carry a gun, you can't, you know what I'm saying, out there. So man, they hit him over the head, man. And he was I think at that age he was 19.
Yeah, he was a youngin'. Yeah, he was a baby still.
And he in San Quentin, man. Like if you know about jails, like
you
know
about
man,
you know about Rikers, like you know them.
Yeah, you know them names. So it was just tough for me, honestly, man. And I kept in touch as much as possible, and we still keep in touch. It's just crazy because he's a whole different person now.
Yeah, but jail will change you though.
He a whole, and it's been I'm saying 19. Almost 20. It's been almost 20.
Yeah. It's 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Yeah. So TP's 37 now. Yeah. It's been almost 20 years.
Is he gonna be? Do he ever tell you if they was gonna like grant him parole or anything like that? So or they want him to do the whole life sentence. Or what they
there may be a chance. There may be a chance that he can appeal. They tried before and it got denied. And you know the only thing that's kind of really holding it back, I believe, is the girl's parents. Yeah. Okay. You know, and I think they have a say in to be like, man, hell no, like they're gonna fight that. They're gonna fight that. For sure. So I think if that's, I mean, and me being a parent, I understand that could be hard to forgive. The girl was an 18-year-old golfer. You know what I'm saying? At a college somewhere around there, and I know that could be difficult for them, but it's just hard because he didn't get to truly live his life. You know, at 19, just think what we was doing at 19 years old, bro. How much you've grown, like, since 19. You know what I'm saying? So, man.
I was just sitting here thinking in general, right? Like all the decisions I made as a teenager, and like in the sense of like why the college I chose, the friends that I chose to hang out with. And so it was making me think like, so when you was in that whole little process of being recruited, right? Because for one, you was hooping. You was doing your thing. Like, why did you choose OU?
Really, I was already.
You had many.
So who was your five? What was
your top five offers?
You know, I committed early, but OU offered me UNLV, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska, Arkansas, Kansas. I can't.
So you ain't go to Kansas?
So look, this is why Oklahoma. This is why.
you said Kansas, like red, white, blue Kansas.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta think about it though. Like you got cats coming there, top recruits coming there from all over the country. So ain't no guarantee you gonna play.
That's facts.
So you gotta kind of take that into consideration. Like, man, I gotta go to a school where I'm gonna get seen and play.
I was so cocky that I didn't think nowhere I was gonna go. I wasn't gonna play. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just keeping a buck with you. Yeah. Like that was my mindset. Yeah, for sure. That was my mindset but it was the main thing was like I had like a familiarity with Oklahoma. Got Johnny Gilbert was there. He was my teammate as a freshman. He was already there, and then Kansas was cool, but they had OU just went to the Final Four the year before.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My senior year, they was in the Final Four.
Yep.
At my senior year of high school, they was in the Final Four. So they had Hollis Price, Quantas White, Ebby Ara, and all three of them was seniors. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, this is already a top 10 team.
Yep.
I could come in, I'm gonna play right away. Yep. And then they recruited this guard named Drew Lavender. I don't know if y'all remember him, 5'7", short guard, out of All-American. Yeah. I was talking about, but look, in my mind, I'm like, this little, everybody like, bro, Drew Lavender, he coming there. I'm like, bro, I ain't worried about this little nigga. Yeah. I'm not worried about him, fam. Like, I could kill him. But, hey, we got on campus.
Drew was tough.
We got on campus, bro. We played the first day. They put us right to the court. Everybody on the court. Everybody here, we playing. This nigga Drew, I'm guarding him. He went so crazy, man. He hit threes. He crossed and get to the lane. This nigga posted me up one time at 5'7". I said, nah. This nigga posting up at 5'7" and hit a hook shot. I went and shook his hand after, like, bro, we gotta play together. Like, man. I said, bro, we gotta play together, bro. Tough. And we ended up playing together. Like, we started. He was the 1. I played the 2, and we was number 7 in the country my freshman year. And then my sophomore year, we ended up winning the Big 12 championship. We had a really good team. Yeah.
So what? Okay, so number 1, who was?
The visit was kind of lit too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
OU. Let's sidebar. Can we talk about the visit?
OU?
I don't think kids know what college business is like.
He got game type.
Shout out OU. Oh man, I'm thinking some UCLA.
Nah, they have some shirts on the bed waiting for you.
He got game type visit. That's
man.
If you see, if you know the movie.
Oh yeah, I know the movie. Listen, I know the movie.
It's going down. All right,
That's it.
He said, I'm going here.
Yeah. Visit crazy. So let me ask you. So man, I can't even. Is it OU? Oh man. So let me ask you this. So, who was the toughest player you played against in college, and the toughest player you played against in high school? Like toughest. Like
I'm older, man. So I graduated in 03. Okay. So you got to know my class was Chris Paul, LeBron James, Luol Deng. Yeah. Who else is in my class, man? Mustafa Shakur. But I played against LeBron at least 3 times during my high school career. Yeah. And I would say by far he was like, like he's a legendary. He's like one of those people like it's only so many of those.
Yeah, for sure.
I forgot. It's a word for it. It's a word for it.
It's a rare breed.
Yeah. So, but it's like, of course, he's right now being questioned as being like, is he the GOAT, one of the greatest, the greatest of all time? Yeah. And another play. This is how I knew he was special. I'm talking shit like before every game. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Steve Neal, shout out my bro Steve. I'm like, lock his ass up. He don't say nothing. Brian quiet. You know what I'm saying? He don't say nothing. You know. Nigga, he come down, boom, first play, boom, he make a play, get to the basket, it's easy. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I'm slick. So one time he like backing down. He backing down. He backing down Steve. Yeah, he backing down Steve. But I'm coming, I'm about to get the steal. I come off my man to get the steal. He didn't even look, fam. He didn't even look, bro. He literally did like this, pass it behind his head to the dude for a layup. And I'm like, that's how I know. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's special. He different. I'm like, oh, he different. He different. But I went off though against LeBron, though. Like I had a gym going crazy. We played him one time in Chicago, and he had a point guard on the team named Drew Joyce. I don't know if y'all familiar. Y'all familiar with him, but I was smoking Drew Joyce. I'm talking about smoking him off the top. Like I came out on a mission. And he's like, man, watch out, I got him. And I remember the first play. I had the ball on the left wing. I went down to the baseline. I took 2 dribbles and I pulled back, and he kind of like slipped, and then he didn't try to get back, and I shot it over him, and the ball went so high and came down like. And I just remember the whole crowd going crazy. It was during the NBA Combine too. Yeah. So Darius Miles was there, Quentin Richardson, D Brown, Sean Docker. We played him at Crane. Matter of fact, we was playing him at Crane in Chicago. Yep. Yeah. And it was crazy.
You know Quentin Richardson, they from the Go.
Yep.
They was out at Whitney Young.
Yeah.
That's where they from.
Yup. And D Miles is right off from East St. Louis, so right across the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was crazy. I remember I got this tape somewhere, and I really want to find it. But I remember
put that out.
Yeah, I remember a post like one of the scouts coming up to me like, man, you was literally the best player on the floor that day. And I'm always hold that like, yeah, nigga, I went crazy on Brian. My kids be like, yeah, right. Like, all right, kids.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like when I used to watch y'all play when I was a youngin', I probably was a little bit older than Bree, but when I used to watch y'all play, I was like, man, that nigga Mac tough.
No, you was like that, and
Mac
you had
tough.
the
Man,
cuffs.
appreciate
You
that.
was like
Oh
that.
yeah, everything. It was
And you had
everything.
the cuffs.
And I'm already committed to going to North.
Yeah.
I was already at North as an 8th grade.
Yeah.
Me and Jakai.
Oh, okay.
We already was playing at North.
Yeah.
And we went to go see y'all play against Kevin Henderson and them. I'm like, Mac different.
Yeah.
Mac different. I ain't care what Mac pulling up from half court. He's shooting like the police.
And his jersey oversized, by the way. I'm throwing that out
listen.
there, y'all. His jersey, that jersey swallowing him.
I feel like everybody did back then, though. I feel like it's different now.
It was different.
Yeah, now nigga, your jersey like super tight, but like back then you wanted the big. I was wearing 40 jeans, like you know what I'm saying.
For sure.
We was mad at the shorts that they had, like the shorts they wearing now. We had to wear those for JV. You used to put water on them, try to stretch them out. Like that's how much tight clothes wasn't in back then. You know what I mean? But
I feel it.
I always tell people that like, man, honestly, God has a plan for everything, but I tell people, before y'all seen Steph Curry shooting from that far and Dame Lillard doing all that and just pulling up, I was doing that. I'm talking about off the tip. That was my first shot of the game. And it was normal, like, you know what I mean? So I always tell people that, and it was another plan for me, another way. And I enjoy what I did and remember it, but I always tell them, like, bro, I was doing this early before Steph and all them was doing this, bro. I was pulling up from 5 feet behind the line.
Absolutely. I want to go back to something. So you was talking about all the success you had at OU. Why you come home?
Why you transfer back to Minnesota, man? What's up with that?
So this is a story behind that. So the reason I ended up retiring from basketball is because I had to get 2 hip surgeries.
Yeah.
Right? So I tore my hip labrum. I don't know if you know what the hip labrum is. The hip labrum is basically what keeps the joint inside the socket. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the whole time I didn't know. When I was if you listen to the breakthrough and you hear at the beginning, the doctor says like I played my college basketball at 60%. 60%. I played my college and pro basketball. He's like, I don't even know how you was playing. So instead of having a circular hip joint, I had extra bone on there, and the more I was running,
and it was just grinding.
And I'm grinding though. I'm a grinder, so I'm getting up. I'm doing extra running. I'm running stairs. I'm doing squats.
Ooh, you making it
work.
I'm making
it even more.
It wasn't a known injury back then. So I'm thinking I'm compensating. So I'm like, man, my calf hurt, my Achilles hurt, my hip, my thigh hurt, my ankle. Yeah. All because I'm compensating on my hip throughout college. So my freshman year in Oklahoma, man, I went crazy. I had a great year. We did good. My coach was like, man, I want you taking 15 shots a game. He yelling at seniors to give me the ball. So my sophomore year, I come in, I'm working hard all summer. I'm killing everybody. Hollis Price, them come back. Ebby Arad, I'm tearing the gym up. I'm tearing the gym up every single day. And I'm getting all my extra work in. So I'm like, man, I'm out of here. Coach already told me, like, man, you got letters. I had letters from Houston Rockets. In college, they give you letters kind of like NBA, like to show interest. I had letters from Houston Rockets, Milwaukee Bucks, Dallas Mavericks. And I'm like, everybody keeps saying, like, you are our best player by far. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I'm working, coach. All of a sudden, man, out of nowhere, the first step to the injury is it starts happening. Second step is stiffness. Yeah. I'm coming down, trying to pull up, falling over. Defense, they getting past. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. Can't make move, can't sit down high. It's your hips, it's your joints. So yeah, you gotta move. Like that's part of the game. Is like moving through. Yeah. Can't explode out of there. But it's so crazy. I was still such a good basketball player that I was still able to perform. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? If you notice, I started to just be more of a shooter. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of like going off the dribble and making stuff happen, I became more of a shooter, and I kind of was able to like live off of that. And as my sophomore year, we won the Big 12, and it's crazy because we was gonna be ranked #1 in the country. That next year we had everybody coming back. And I don't know, I thought it was coach, and I thought I was losing my confidence. Yeah. but really it was like an injury. It was an injury, and I wasn't myself. And it's crazy. I came back, and even at the University of Minnesota, I was still all Big Ten, second team my junior year, all Big Ten third team my senior year with this injury. And then I go and play overseas for a little bit in Macedonia, and I leave and I come back and I'm like, man, this wasn't my dream. I want to play in the NBA. In my mind's set in the NBA. Yeah, this is where my mind's been at. So I go to the G League for the Lakers. Man, this was like one of the coldest experiences ever because this was the only D League team that practiced and played at the same arena as the actual Lakers or the professional team, the NBA. Right, because every other team, everybody else has, it's like a different city. Okay, right. So Minnesota had Sioux Falls, right? Right. And then like Philadelphia had Erie, Pennsylvania, which is like we played at the Staples Center. Okay, right. We practiced at the Toyota Center. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to, Kobe Bryant. Like seeing him on the daily,
Kobe, man, my guy.
Nah, yeah, that hurt me.
You gonna make Brianna cry,
man. Yeah, nah.
That's my guy.
For real, I cried.
I ain't gonna stunt.
Bro, we in a barbershop, which is so funny, bro. I remember coming in one time, my shoes in the locker. I'm like, who the fuck hair is on my shoes, man? And Kobe right there, like, oh man, I just got cut right there. I'm like, oh okay, now.
Oh no.
Hey, you know what?
Good, Kobe?
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, don't worry about it, Kobe. I got it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, don't worry. I'll get this off. I'll get it. I'm keeping it here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I got it. Don't you worry about it. Because at this time, when he won like 2 or 3 championships.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think it was 2010.
Oh yeah,
they got like they 4. Oh yeah, they up there. They up there. I'm at practice. They're right there. All the trophies is in the office window. They're right there. You know what I'm saying? So like Magic. I'm talking about. I'm seeing Magic Johnson on the daily. I'm seeing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Phil Jackson. I'm watching Derek Fisher get warmed up before practice. Like it's like JV varsity basically. Yeah. So like I was able to experience all that. It was like one of the best experiences. But the only thing was, when I came back my second year, they're like, "No, you playing good." And in my mind, I'm like, "Y'all don't know how
like you don't know who I'm supposed
to." Yeah, y'all think this is good. This ain't good to me. Yeah. So I'm like, I want to get a MRI. Give me an MRI. And they was like, "Nah, well, just rehab. Just keep rehabbing." So I'm coming to rehab for like a month, 2 months straight every day. I'm like rehabbing, and finally I was like, "Man, I'm not coming to practice. Y'all give me an MRI. Like I'm not playing good." Yeah. We went to the D League showcase, which where every NBA team come. Yeah. Every NBA team come there. And every G League team is like right there. They play in the same arena, and I was trash. I'm talking about like it hurt. Man. It hurt. Niggas was flying by me. I couldn't dribble up the court. Niggas is full court pressing me. I'm like, yo, something ain't. Yeah, this ain't it. This ain't me, fam. And I was like, yo, after that, I was like, yo, I'm not coming to practice. Y'all give me MRI. And then I got the MRI, and he was like, I thought it was one hip. He like, man, both of your hips.
Both hips?
Yeah, he's like, yeah. He like, I don't even know how you was playing. I don't know how you played. And then I got that. I was like, okay, well, can I still play after this? You know, that's my only identity is basketball. I don't know what else is after this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, can I still play? And like I got he like, yeah. So he like, I don't know how long. I got the surgery with the best doctor. He's a Viking doctor. And I got the surgery. I started rehab. I was rehabbing with the Timberwolves trainers and the guy who does all the stuff for the head trainer for the Timberwolves. And about 4 or 5 months in, I was like, it might be over. Really? It was like, damn.
What was that like? Because I know how it was when I had to wrap it up. What's that feeling like having to transition and to figure out who you are outside of something that's been your life? Your whole life.
Not only is that what people identify me as in where I'm from, it's what I identify myself as. Right. Like, I don't know nothing else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I never really tried to do nothing else. That was the only thing that I cared about since I could remember being a human being on this earth. So it was like a death. I call it. Everybody say we all go through that athlete death.
Like a death.
Yeah. It's like we all go through that death, and then like trying to redefine who we actually are, and who we truly are as people.
Right.
And I think sometimes that could be good because a lot of people get to a certain level and a certain age, and then it happens and then they don't know what to do. You know, luckily I was still like at a younger age where I could kind of figure it out. So it was a catch-22 for me. You know what I mean? But it was a difficult moment. I dealt with depression. I was just talking to somebody else who is a football player who's kind of going through the same thing. Yeah. And I was like, I'm so open and honest about it that he was like, damn, yeah. Like I'm going through. So when you talk about it, people could understand. Like, bro, it's a way to get through it. But the only way I made it through was faith. I was like, man, God gotta have something better for me. He couldn't take this away, fam. There's no way he could take this away and not have nothing better for me. Because I was this. Yeah. I used to bear what. Man, it was times, man, where I'm like, why? Why would you do that to me? Yeah. You knew what I was gonna do. You knew my heart. You knew how I was gonna get back. You knew I was gonna like why? But then I had to just start understanding that like. Maybe this was my first test. You know what I'm saying? I had a good life. Yeah, I had a good life. I wasn't worried about no food. And I'm saying I wasn't rich enough, but I hadn't to worry about no food. I was always smart. I could always pick stuff up. I always got the girls. You know what I'm saying? I always get the cool clothes. Like I had to understand like I didn't really have a true test up until that point. And I think, you know, like I said, being a man of faith, I believe there's something for us after this. Yeah, for sure. And if you don't prepare yourself for that, that's really the bigger game. Yeah. Like, you know, basketball is a game, but that's the bigger game that I feel like 100%. God is preparing our souls for. And I learned so much about myself during that time that it almost turned out to be a blessing.
So is that what led you into music?
Yeah, man. Off them Percocets all day.
That's all them drugs, boy.
Off them drugs. He was high. He said by him saying good. He was writing. He was writing bars. And he was high.
Ooh, I was like, this is hard.
I can do that. Let me go ahead and put this real quick.
No, some G shit though, some real shit. My mom had always told me as a kid, you know, we're a young black man from the inner city. Yep. We have a hard time expressing ourselves when we're hurt. Yeah. Or shit. When we're angry, we just go. It's just like we don't know how to truly express ourselves. And like she was like, just write it down. Yeah. And that was a point in time where like I was like, I don't know who to talk to. You know, I don't want to seem vulnerable. You know, so I wrote it down, and then I started just writing the beats. And I called one of my homies up who was doing beats at that time. They was called a commission. Nate Alford and Nate Lockett. They both used to hoop as well. And they was doing beats. I remember them doing beats. I'm like, yo, I just wrote something in one of y'all beats on the internet. And they had beats on that Piff at that time. Piff, yeah, they had like a whole Prince mixtape, and I was like writing to it. And they was like, damn, that shit actually dope. You should come record it. And I started just going record over there. And from there, I just never looked back. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, back me and we've been knowing each other since forever. Yeah. You know, we really got on a personal level through John. Yeah. And the old barbershop I used to work at in North Minneapolis. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of got to witness you transitioning from that to music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of watched you grow, you know, from behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I always kept up what you did. I always posted your stuff. And always been a fan about how you took care of your business as far as music. Yeah. I look up, boy, you was at 1 million streams.
Yeah.
I said, Mac Irv at 1 million streams? Yeah. I said, you doing this thing. So how did that feel, you know, understanding that, hey, man, I'm on iTunes. I got 1 million streams on this song. I got 500,000 on this song. Yeah. I got 200,000-300,000 on another song.
Y'all doing good with the back and forth with the question though. Y'all good. Y'all got some chemistry. Y'all got some shit. Y'all got some shit.
This podcast gonna be real.
Yeah, man. Y'all got some shit. Y'all got some shit. Y'all got some shit for real.
This ain't no BS. Man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let me know how that feels. Like knowing that you had the 1 million streams on iTunes and stuff. Like,
it feel good. On iTunes is like a couple 100,000. I'm gonna be honest, man. Spotify is that's all good. Spotify is like where most like a lot of people like listen to their music. So it's gonna always be more. It always has more than iTunes. But bro, it felt good, man. Getting into the music. For some reason, I'm always just overly confident, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's a good thing.
That's competitive.
Yeah, I just got that kind of attitude. And even if I'm humble from the outside. Like, I'm always going to be humble and I understand. But it's like, if I see it and I feel like it's accomplishable, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I can do it.
And you gonna be the best at it.
I gotta get it. So it was just basically just seeing that was like almost like about time y'all caught on.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? And the first time it happened was with my project called Misfit. It's called Misfit 55411. It was basically just like a story of me, who I was growing up in North Minneapolis, having a dad. It's crazy. I just think about, like, even on my team, we're talking about Henry basketball. 8 out of 10 on my teammates didn't have a dad growing up.
Sure.
You know what I mean? At the basketball.
You had your father there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's almost looked at as a silver spoon, no matter how much money
you an outlier.
got. Yeah,
completely.
Regardless, man. Like, you know what I mean. You almost are looked at as like a pastor's kid. You know what I mean. It's almost like it's that kind of feeling. So you get these benefits, but then at the same time, people do look at you a little bit differently. Or I never knew until I get older that it could be envy. You know what I'm saying? Like as you get older, you start to understand. Like, damn. When you got something that somebody else don't got. It's just human nature for them to want that.
100%.
Or be mad that you got it and they don't have it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it was always, I didn't understand how much of a one-up it was of just having my dad in my life at that point. But Misfit was it's just a story about that. It starts off, my dad is actually on track 1. And it starts off with him talking to me. And then, you know, my dad used to always tell me, like, I used to be like, yo, I want to go outside. He like, nah, you ain't get your homework done, or you ain't do this, or you gotta do something this, or you can't wear your school clothes. I'm like, well, what your name get to wear their school clothes? And he's like, you ain't them.
Exactly.
Right.
And they ain't you.
Right.
And now I understand, like, these niggas ain't me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at it now. Like, in my mind, like, like, you know what I mean? And the beautiful thing about that is we're all individuals.
100%.
We're all, if you can embrace your individuality, that's what makes you actually stand out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your individuality is what makes you stand out. So I'm glad that my dad always taught me that and to stand on my own. And I don't get influenced by, like, a lot of shit, like, that a lot of people are doing. I'm really confident in myself, but I always had that real in, throw with the sharks. You know, this North Minneapolis, so you out
different.
The hood is the hood. Sure. You know what I mean? But I always had that life vest, like, you know what I'm saying? All right,
you only go so far.
Reel it back, and I knew that niggas like we about to do this. I'm like, shit, y'all about to.
I mean,
I'm going to the crib.
I always seen that confidence in you though.
Yeah.
Like from the jump. I remember when I walked in 43 Hoops. I don't know if you remember that, but you was in 43 Hoops one day and I walked in. We was getting ready for triple-double.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, Mac, you ain't got it no more.
Yeah.
Capping.
Yeah.
Mac, you know, you like, man, you know who you talking to?
Exactly.
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, this fool Mac different. I said, Mac, you can't dunk the ball no more.
What I show you?
Yeah. And Mac grabbed the ball off vert. Boom.
Easy.
I said, oh.
Hey, I was doing like backwards. I don't know if I can still do it, but up until last year, it was like that. And I tell people like, man, bro, if there's one thing I could be totally confident about, nigga, it's basketball.
For sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I done played against the best of the best.
100%.
And did my motherfucking thing, fam.
Sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Sebastian came here. I don't know if y'all remember that when we played him at the Target Center.
Yeah, I seen it.
Man, I guarded that nigga like this. Nigga, what's up, nigga? We ain't in New York, nigga. I don't care what you score. I don't care who your cousin is. Yeah, we killed them. But it was just that kind of attitude. If there was one thing, and that was my competitive spirit, and like I think that's what that's kind of what got me into music. You know what I'm saying? I love the crowd. I love the feel. I love the energy, and I can't really do that like sitting behind a desk or something like that. You know, I got my degree, and I'm thankful to have my degree in University of Minnesota. They asked me to coach right away. You know what I'm saying? And my dad's in the coach, and my dad was like, "You should do it." It was just like something about me is I feel like especially as an athlete, and then not only being an athlete, my dad's a coach. He has a big personality. I wasn't really able to find myself, like, you know what I mean, until I started doing music. I feel like that, like, even as a college athlete, don't say this, don't say that, move this way, don't dress this.
You can do whatever you want to do with your music.
I can express however I want to.
You can say whatever you want to say. So how did the hood receive you as an artist? Think about it. You've been, I know Lawrence Mckenzie. I don't know Mac Irv.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like me as a kid, like seeing you as Mac Irv. First time I seen you perform is at Tyshana's 16th birthday party. You did her sweet 16th birthday party. You probably don't remember this party you did.
Oh, Curtis had me do it.
Yeah, you did his.
Damn, I forgot about that. It was like in Brooklyn Center somewhere.
Yeah, that's the first time I seen you perform. I'm like, wait, that's Lawrence Mckenzie. Wait, when he start rapping?
On everything.
Wow,
so,
I was probably trash too.
Hey, that beginning stage is ugly, man. You gotta go
It's
through that.
ugly.
You gotta
so
go through that.
for me, it was hard for me to accept. I'm like, y'all don't know who this is. This is Lawrence Mckenzie. Like, no, this is Mac Irv. I'm like, who the hell is Mac Irv?
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, man. When you start rapping,
keep it a buck.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. When you start rapping, I'm like, man, this cat was so nice on the court. Why is he rapping?
Right.
That's what came to my mind when I first heard about it. I'm like, and John was like, yeah, you know, he got some stuff coming out. I'm like, some stuff coming out. I'm like, that boy can go play ball anywhere in the world right now.
Bag right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, and me and John, we kind of didn't understand like what was going on with your injuries. We ain't know none of that
nobody
stuff.
knew. Nobody knew.
Behind
I didn't
the
tell
scenes.
nobody. Yeah, I didn't tell
behind
nobody.
the scenes. So in everybody's mind in the hood, we like, man, this fool quit
Like,
basketball
look
to
at
rap.
this nigga tripping.
Yeah.
He tripping.
This nigga tripping right now. This thing gonna get bad.
That's what we were saying. But we ain't know. That's why we asked you to come on the podcast, because people don't know this, man.
So the beautiful thing about this is like hearing the outside is I could bring you to the inside where I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had, like, you know what I'm saying? After those injuries, like, I literally was like, I had no choice. Yeah. But the beautiful thing about having no choice is like your back is against the wall. So it's like whatever you do, you gotta fight up out that motherfucker. Yeah. So, and I finally had a feeling of not caring what people thought. Like, that was my first time where I was like, nigga, I don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I used to walk around, man, what, you ain't hooping no more? Like, at least for the first 2 years after playing basketball. Boy, you ain't hooping? Nah, man, I ain't hooping no more, bro. What happened? I don't even want to really explain it to you know what I'm saying? But I got hurt. I'm not hooping. But like I said, I believe so much that it was music for me that was gonna open up more doors that I just locked in and put my head down. And I didn't really care how people received it. Yeah. And I felt like in order for me to transfer or transition into being Mac Irv, I couldn't care.
Yeah.
Because if I would have heard that, think you tripping, you this and that, what you doing? Yeah. So many different opinions, and I couldn't let those opinions in my mind if I was focused on this goal. So I just had to show and prove, you know what I mean? And at that point, I was just like, man, I gotta go. And you know what's crazy though is my first song was called "Got Me Open," and I put it on. It was like when Twitter was popping. Everybody, was, you know, Twitter kind of slowed down. I mean, for me, I don't use Twitter as much.
I don't use
Twitter.
I mean? I still got one, but I don't use
but
it.
we used to be on Twitter all the time, and I put that song out, and people kind of went crazy. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That gave me confidence, because I know, like, if it was whack, people, I feel like
people
whack. Yeah, I was never whack. You know what I'm saying? I just got better. I got way better.
You're a way better performer from the time I seen you when I was 18, 19 years old to now. So just letting you know I've seen you now. And you're
For sure.
But if you ain't growing, something wrong.
That's facts. That's facts.
So,
but
you know, us watching you grow, I'm like, all right, but like I said, if you ain't growing, something going on.
I'm gonna tell you something else that's gonna like give y'all insight about like rapping for the hood means streets.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
That's what I learned. I was like, it ain't you can't rap and not be from the streets. What you talking about? Yeah. You rapping. This is streets.
Right.
Like it turns into a different game. So it went from basketball where we had this mutual respect and we on the court and we could talk shit to it's like, nah, nigga, like you ain't coming to our lane. Like, you know what I mean? So I got a lot of pushback. And I'm pretty sure y'all seen there was videos up, people talking. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it was crazy. Yeah. It's crazy because I was just so used to the hate already. Like I was used to looking at message boards as a basketball player.
Being an athlete prepared you for that?
Being an athlete 100% prepared me for that, man. Being an athlete prepared me for everything.
For sure. Me too.
In life. How to lose, how to fail and bounce back, how to lose and understand how to take what I learned from a loss and bring it on to the next thing to get the W. How to be down. How to be down or behind and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna quit, I'm gonna keep going.
Man, resiliency.
Oh my goodness, man, I gotta be the most resilient person on earth at this point, man. Like I literally,
you have to. That's the only way you're gonna win.
I remember playing Westinghouse, Chicago. Bro, they was ranked, man. They had a really good team. They had Jamarcus Ellis. They had another dude that was going to Indiana. They had a couple cats, and they hadn't lost in there in like 60 games.
Yeah.
And it was down like 15 in the fourth quarter. I remember TP coming in that huddle, man. It was like, bro, we gonna win this game. I'm like, we gonna win this game. And I feel like his belief and then my belief and then passing down, we came back and we beat them. Yeah. For the first time, they ain't losing like 15 years. We went to Chicago and played the boys. I mean, it looked like Henry North in there. Yeah. Like, it was like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think from there, it was like, I literally be feeling like, man, anything is possible. You can do anything you put your mind to, as long as you don't quit and you believe. For sure. And you work hard. That's game, big game. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing impossible. There's nothing that you can't do. I'm pretty sure you had the same feeling. Like, you look at this space right here, bro, sure. that you had. Like, I remember, like you said, I remember you at John's shop. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning, going to school. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And look what you did, because you put your mind to it. Okay. Did it take a little bit of time? Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but you did it. You did it, and it's here, and you established yourself. So I just truly believe that if you work hard at it, and I think that even with music, for me, it's like this next shit is like it's going next level. Yeah,
well, for sure. You helping us out.
Yeah. Then for sure, you like what I think you was blessed at is that, you know, being an elite athlete, you create that fan base playing ball.
100%.
And you poured that fan base into your music.
100%.
The fans are already there.
Yeah.
So now you gotta change their mind from being a basketball fan to the music fan. Yeah. And I kind of think you did a good job of transitioning that. Yeah. Putting it into your music.
I think no matter what you do, if you take it serious long enough, even if at first people like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They're like, oh, you niggas still doing that. Yeah.
Right. Look up like, wait, you still doing it? You been doing music for like 10
years. 10 years.
Yeah, because I'm 30.
10 years now.
I seen you at 20. Yeah.
Yep, I got 10 years in this shit now.
So what's next? What new projects? What things you got going? Listen, you went viral last year.
Yeah, oh man, excuse my French challenge, man.
Okay, excuse my French challenge. You ain't reshared mine, you reshared Ashley Henderson's.
I didn't see yours. Hold on, I gotta go.
Just saying. You gonna follow me after this. I'm throwing that out there. I'm telling you this right now. If Mac Irv does not follow me back on social media, I'm just playing.
Hold on, that's crazy.
I didn't do it. I'm giving you a hard time.
Oh, you didn't do it?
Hey, Dan. She dead serious.
No. I ain't mad at her because I ain't mad.
You shared Ashley and she
I'm about to say
because some more stuff.
Nah, but we are friends on Facebook.
I know, I'm just playing.
But I was like, I never seen your page.
I never.
Oh, okay.
You went viral, which was phenomenal. You had Bernice. What's her
Bernice
name?
Burgos. Yeah, she went crazy.
I mean, I don't like women, but if I was,
and she like the real OG of that shit too. Like,
you got a little sugar in your tongue.
I might.
I think every girl do.
Okay,
that's just my opinion.
I'm not gonna say that on this one. This is about sports. Sorry, kids. Yeah. So what you got next? What's gonna be new this
I got
year?
this project called More Work to Do. It's the first thing I thought about when I did the breakthrough.
Yeah. And it's the album, mixtape. What is it?
It's a project. I always say that. I don't know, because at this point everything is kind of like a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I'm not signed to anybody. So I mean, I'm still selling it. I don't think it even like really matters nowadays. So I just called it a project. It's built like an album though. Yeah. It's all original. You know what I'm saying? Music. I'm not like remixing anybody's songs, anything on there. But it's called More Work to Do, and it's the first thing I thought about when I did after the breakthrough, and it started doing so well, and it started doing numbers. We did 1 million streams within a year. My last project took like 2-3 years to do 1 million streams. Did 1 million streams within a year. Excuse my French, was like, I ain't gonna lie, 700,000 of them things. For sure. It get like, it still streams 5,000 times a day. Like it's one of them joints where it's like, you got to keep pushing that, because that still has the opportunity like to break even bigger. But More Work to Do, it's just better than the breakthrough. And I anybody who's been following me musically will know, like, he don't lie when he say his shit get better each time.
You telling the story.
Yeah. And it's like, for me, it's like it's easier to tell about what I'm doing in this very moment.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If you see me, like if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I'm at the gym, I'm doing this, I'm with my kids. You'll literally see whatever you see on there and hear all of my music. I think that's the most important thing about the music, is being transparent. Yeah. People gotta believe you. I don't care what you're rapping about. You could be rapping about cutting hair every day. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could be rapping about doing that or going to barber school, and whatever you're doing, it gotta be transparent, and people really believe 100%. That, and they want to keep up with that, because it's a story. You tell your story, somebody is gonna be inspired by your story. But the key is, man, in life for me in general in 2022, I call this the year of no excuses, it's always more work.
love that.
Shout out to my nigga Dez too. My nigga Dez is like, you know, he done came from, he done did the verses, then did the rap battle, and now it's like I respect the hustlers, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I just do. I just really respect the hustlers, man. I respect the hard workers. If there was a dude when I played basketball that went at me the way, I'd be like, after the game, I'd be like, hey, nigga, good shit.
Of course,
like, man, I just think
I faced some dogs, so I get it.
Yeah, I just respect it. So it just once you get to a certain level, it's just you just got to keep going. You just never stop. You just put your head down. Yeah. Because if we gonna take it deep, the real thing is we come and go, man, on this earth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your time will be over quicker than you know.
That's
you know
one appointment you can't miss.
You can't miss that. And while you here, you got to make sure you did everything you possibly could to leave your legacy.
Yeah, for sure.
And to do your part. You know, that's important to me.
That was some game right there. Listen,
look.
Yeah. Ooh, this was a nice one, y'all.
Yeah, good start.
Y'all was sitting there, I was like, dang. Nah, for real. I hope the youngins or whoever listens to this, like, take the gems that you put in that.
Yeah.
And, like, the underlying tone of it was a story, right? You talked about you being a hooper and you transitioned to music. All it was underlying just hard work.
Yeah.
Period.
That's
like
it.
That, if I don't care if nobody caught that, just work your tail off and you'll get the result that you want. It may not happen when you want it, but it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen.
It normally don't happen when you want it.
Never.
Just keep it a buck. Like,
never does.
He know that. Look, OG Eddie know. Listen, he been grinding for a minute.
I've been grinding for a long. I've been a barber for 13 years.
Damn.
Like, it literally been 13 years. Like, and I'm just now starting to get. I got young barbers that work for me. They want it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
They want it right now. Ed, what's going on? I need this. I need that. When can I open up me a barbershop? I'm like, bro, I've been grinding
put the work
for
in.
a long time, dog. And a lot of people don't know that about artists, man. Like Meek Mill's story. That's probably one of my best stories.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you probably gonna capitalize on it. But Meek Mill's story is like, bro, nappy braids, like, this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And Meek could tell you, like, hey, I just now got this paper. Like,
did you hear Rick Ross talk about that?
Yeah. Nigga, I was in the studio with Pretty Rick. Niggas passing up on me. They coming in, we want Pretty Ricky, we want Trina, we want this. I'm sitting there waiting for my time. Yeah. Nigga, I just got rich. I just got, DJ Khaled said the same thing. J. Cole I was rapping since I was 12.
Yeah.
Like, it takes time no matter what you do.
People only see the end result. They don't understand the tears you cried, what depression looked like, the times that nobody believes you. Like, I tell people all the time, like, to get here at 30, they don't know what the last 29 looked like.
Oh my goodness.
That was a little bit different. And so, like, I'm happy that y'all both are transparent enough to just share that.
Yeah.
Because kids think that it's going to happen today. Yeah. No, you're going to have to put work in.
Right
when
now.
no one's watching, you're going to have to keep putting work in on whatever craft, whatever dream you have. And I'm telling you, I don't care. I don't know about what nobody else going to say, but for me, keep working. And when you say there's still work to be done,
more work to do.
More work to be done.
More work to do. Yeah.
And the kids come in here, man, Ed, why I'm not busy right now? like legit. Like, ask me that. Like, man, like, you been here for 2 days, dog. You been here for a week, dog. I just had a barber just quit Saturday. Cause he couldn't get it. And I'm just like, man, listen, dog, you ain't even done with barber school yet, my boy.
Crazy.
Like, it's hard, man. Like, people don't understand the work you gotta put in, man.
What's the saying for that when you feel like you should have something, but you're very it's not privileged, it's
You say when you want what?
When you feel like you should have something, like their kids are very
entitled.
There
you go.
What it is.
There's a sense of entitlement.
You know why? Instant gratification that's coming through social media.
There we go. That might solve the whole problem.
There we go.
Right. I want to say that might be this.
They see it on social media. They like, hey, I need that right now.
They're comparing to this person and that person. That's the answer to everything.
It is.
That's why people is quitting early. That's why they can't go through getting yelled at, because Mikey Williams is on Instagram. He just got $200,000 and I should be doing this and I should be doing that. I talked to a parent the other day. I said, your kid is playing. He's a sophomore. He's playing. As a sophomore, I barely played that much. Or I played. I wasn't killing.
Yeah. But he getting buckets as a sophomore.
He's doing well.
The nation knows.
And they want to pull him out the program and transfer him. Man, Man, stop.
Man, don't get me. We gonna be on here for another 3 hours to talk about that. That's a whole. You gotta come back to
entitlement, man.
That level right there. And the crazy thing is, the entitlement is coming from the kids that's coming from the hood. You don't understand. We have to work for every opportunity that we got. And I don't know why kids from the hood think that you're gonna be handed something. I ain't getting nothing.
You know what happens though too is our generation, the people that didn't have nothing, want to make sure their kids have stuff. So we
spoiled them. God damn it. You know what? It's our fault.
Bro, listen, I got all girls, man. I got
all
daughters.
Man.
Mac Irv got all daughters.
Yeah.
I got one son. Like, me being a dad.
They get whatever they want.
Whatever. I don't even care. They call me face, say, Daddy, Mommy said I can't get this.
You get it.
When you come to my house this weekend, we going to go get it, baby. Don't even worry about it.
It's y'all fault.
It's all good.
It's y'all fault. I'm 30 and 0, so what I have, whenever I do have mine, you have to earn this.
30 and 0, I like that.
I'm 30 and 0.
She want to be a hot girl so bad.
Yo, I appreciate you. Yo,
nah,
like,
for sure.
Seeing your story, like, I heard like snippets, right? But like the in depth. My nigga, I give you your flowers now.
Man, I appreciate that.
As an athlete, as a rapper, as a father, as an entrepreneur, you're doing your thing. And I just appreciate you coming on our platform and being the first guest of Free Game.
For sure. That's beautiful, man. I'm glad I was able to set it off, man. And this conversation was much needed. And I hope that people who need to hear this really hear this. You know what I'm saying? So, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm OG Eddie, this Free Game Sports Podcast. My girl, Brianna Edwards. And, you know, we got Mac Irv in the building, man. You already know.
Make sure y'all follow him on all his social media platforms.
Yeah, give me your social media stuff before we check out.
Mac Irv, man, on Instagram, at MacIrv, and then Mac Irv on Facebook. You can follow my Facebook page, and then my Twitter just got hacked, man.
Oh no!
They got like they selling PlayStations or something on my Twitter right now. They selling PS5s.
I'm just scared for my IG, man.
I know. Hey, as long as my IG cool, I don't click nothing. I messed up on my Twitter, man. I messed up.
Okay, let me go ahead and change my password.
All right,
thank you, y'all.
you,
I appreciate y'all. Y'all tuning in to the next episode.